Chapter 27 The Sutharian Genocide. The resonance cascade burned her engines so intensely that she broke free of Sutharia's gravity and was making her way to interplanetary space after just a few minutes. Eventually, Rulon throttled back the engines until the simulated gravity was equivalent to 0.25 G. Finally able to stand up again, Trig and Tenna recovered themselves. It took about half an hour for everyone aboard the vessel to get their bearings once again. Rulon hooked up the communicator to the interlink and brought the crew up to speed on events taking place down below. "It's full-scale war on Sutharia," he reported. "The SLA is fighting their way to Venka Urbo, trying to overthrow the government. Secret police are going house to house and executing every Birkin they can find. It's mass murder." "Who's in command down there?" Bronley asked. "We all saw the Emperor and the Prime Minister get wasted." "It seems to be the secret police chief, Safar Vestum," Rulon said. "He's all over the interlink, posting messages about how the Birkin killed Emperor Kanto and they need to be punished." "That's ridiculous," Kara commented. "You can't punish a whole race over something like that." "Well, the Emperor always thought people were his playthings," said the stowaway. Surprised shouts and exclamations filled the resonance cascade for a few minutes. In the chaos of Alex's attack, no one had noticed an extra person joining their ranks. Mere seconds before the escape, Appia Helford had somehow gotten aboard the starship. The young Olenbar woman looked battered and terrified. "I was closer to the spaceport than the hospital when the rock hit, so I just doubled back to ask you guys for help. And then you just took off," Appia said. "Wait, a rock?" Selborn repeated. "So we really were hit by an asteroid?" "Yes," Appia said. "It slammed into the city of Portsdown and killed everyone in it. I heard some of the secret police guys talking about it before they started killing people." Kara winced, then reached up to brush some dust out of her hair. "So, all of this dust that blew in from the west?" she asked. "Yeah, that used to be Portsdown City," Appia said grimly. "About 80 million people, mostly Valdemar. That's why the secret police kept saying the Berkeys are gonna die this time, after the rock hit." "Considering what's happening on the ground, maybe we could refrain from the racial slurs?" Kara asked. Her words caused everyone to pause. Trig, his voice wavering, asked the group at large, "So, that interlink report Rulon mentioned, the one about the secret police killing Birkin, that's all real?" Appia nodded grimly. "Right after the rock hit, all the secret police in town started getting an identical radio message. Something about cutting the tall grass or something like that. It must have been a coded go signal, because every time I saw one of those guys get the message, he turned violent really quick after that. But there's more." "More," Glossum repeated. "How could there be more?" Appia sat down on a crash couch and drew her legs into her chest, holding herself in the fetal position. "The secret police guys, they started shouting stuff like, 'Valdemar out! It's time to fight! All Valdemar to arms!' And then I saw ordinary people coming out of the buildings. Valdemar, all of them. Men and women, and there were even some teenagers and little kids. They all had weapons, and they joined in. They helped the secret police kill the Birkin." Appia could not go on. "I'm gonna be sick," Trig said, holding his stomach. The resonance cascade did not turn back. Captain Cantor and Ponnico explained their reasoning. "The Sutharian Liberation Army won't allow this genocide to go unpunished. They will take Venka Urbo by force and carry out some retributive attacks of their own. We don't want to be on the scene when it all happens. Besides, we have bigger problems to solve. Shepminter, you've got someone calling for you on the interlink terminal, Rulon said. I'll send it to the workshop so you can talk privately. Trig clambered up to his little living space near the nose cone and found the interlink terminal. A familiar face greeted him. Pentwa! Trig gasped. Where are you? Your signal's really garbled. Pentwa Shepminter was just barely visible on the screen. The old woman looked like she was aboard a dilapidated spacecraft. She smiled and waved at Trig through the screen. Aboard a mining vessel, heading for Crystal Zupakin, Pentwa replied. We just took off half an hour ago. Did you get away from the kill squads? Yes. How do you know about them? Trig said. The order to kill Birkin has reached the outlying colonies, Pentwa said. People are divided. A lot of the Voldemar out here are refusing to kill their neighbors, myself included. Oh, thank Ray, Trig breathed. So, why did you leave? Some of the Voldemar extremists knocked on my door, Pentwa said. They told me that I had to join them in killing the Birkin, and if I refused, they would kill me. Did you? Trig breathed. Pentwa rapped her knuckles on a metal object just out of camera view and barked, Boy, do I look like the type of woman who murders her neighbors in cold blood? No. I found some like-minded Voldemar, and we staged our escape. I can see you're on a starship. Are you escaping as well? Yes, we just got away from the homeworld, Trig told her. Good. Pentwa suddenly looked much more peaceful. Now, Trig, promise me this. Until this genocidal madness is over, you will not tell me where you are or what you're doing. Wait. Hear me out before you interrupt. The less I know about where you are, the better. I will not give you up to the extremists, and it will be easier for me to be silent if I know nothing. Do you understand? Trig understood, and he promised to keep Pentwa out of the loop. He also promised to find her when the conflict ended. Remember, I'll be at or near Crystal Zupakin, Pentwa said in parting. MSI mining system, filled with crystalline asteroids. You can't miss it. Escaping from the Suthkasa star system proved to be very difficult. Space combat was occurring over every planet as Sutharian warships fired on each other, a sign of the rapidly escalating civil conflict. In the galley, the mercenaries and their passengers discussed this new development over dinner. We can use the design of the Sutharian Starfleet to our advantage, Rulon told the crew. The Empire prefers a strategy of numerical superiority, which means that the Navy consists of several dozen frigates and corvettes. There are no large vessels like cruisers or battleships. If we are stealthy and avoid detection, we can flee the system without getting into a fight. Ponnico pointed at Trig and Tenna. Both of you get some sleep, he said. I will work with Cantor and Rulon to put us on a course for the first keystone. And where is that exactly? Anfel asked. Trade Station Tungle, home of the Caravanneers, Ponnico replied. Think hard now. Alex Camber, the SLA, and the remnants of the Horde are focusing their efforts on Sutheria to such a degree that even the Song of the Solitaire is currently above Venka Urbo. My old friend Veldanura is like me. He deserted the Horde, but only did so after Malum's death. That is why we must hurry. We may not be the only starship hunting for Veldanura. Ponnico swung open a door, pointing into the hallway. I was serious. You children have a long day of psionic training ahead. Go get some sleep. Trig and Tenna gave one another worried looks before parting ways.